Hello YouTube. This is a video of my collection of knives I just wanted to share on YouTube. First of all, I'll start with my tantos here. I have the tanto 9-inch tanto, 6-inch tanto, and a 4-inch mini tanto. They're all Sanmai steel. And the mini tanto is unique because it's no longer being made by Cold Steel. It's got a 4-inch blade on it. And on this area of the blade, you can't see it. It says mini tanto right there at the bottom of the blade. My camera's not that good. I'm using the camera phone. But it's really neat because it's a little baby tanto. It's all tiny. It's cool. And it's got the sheath just like the other ones. Then here, it's got the hissatsu combat knife. And this one's got a 7-inch blade with 440A steel. It's a tanto style blade. I bought it for $25 on eBay. I like it, but I probably wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't so cheap on eBay. There's where it says hissatsu right there. It's got the nice textured grip. And on one side it's got this large indentations. Large bumps so that you can figure out whether or not the blade is facing against you or towards you. If the blade is facing away from you, you'll notice that these bumps will be on your fingertips. Whereas if the bumps are facing your thumb, then that means the blade is facing you, which requires that you reorientate the blade so that these bumps are on your fingers. Then you have the knife in the proper position. This is a coyote tan blade. It's pretty cool. I like these plastic kydex sheaths because of the carrying options. It's got a belt loop, which I would probably never use. I would rather use some paracord and tie it to the loops of my waist belt on my backpack through the grommets. And then next we got the SOG Steel Pup Elite. And that one's got a just under 5-inch blade, close enough to call it a 5-inch blade. And I like the style of that blade a lot. It's black blade, the titanium nitride coating. I've done a little batoning on it with it. You'll see that it's scratched slightly. Just enough to know that it would work in the pinch. It's got the serrated edge. A nice handle with decent checkering. It's got the finger grooves on the handle which help for a better grip. And a really sharp blade. And I like the SOG blade design where they have those upswept ridges on the back of the spine. I think that's really cool. It's just very, very aesthetic. And inside here, I really would prefer to not have had this pocket on the sheath, but since I have it, I keep a tiny Leatherman in there. I have traded this Leatherman for a big Leatherman, but since I was camping, I decided I'd rather have this small Leatherman. It's easier to carry stuff around. And I also got myself a magnesium stone in here with the flint on the side. And I figure, might as well keep something in there. If that big pocket is on the sheath, I might as well use it. And those two items seem to be like really good items to keep in there. Okay, and next, got the Peacekeeper 1. And that's got a 7-inch blade, and I forgot the steel. I think it's 420 Sub-Zero Quench. I've had this one for years and years, and it's still razor sharp. I've pretty much never sharpened it, never really used it. It's defensive blade. It's pretty much just for killing folks. So I keep it at home, and there's no reason to take it out of my home. And if someone should break in, this is probably the first thing that's going to enter the equation, so to speak. And next, we'll discuss my Gerber knife. The only one I have here is the River Runner. It's got a yellow handle with the plastic. The handle is plastic. It's actually a glass-filled nylon. The sheath is molded plastic. And you'll see the blade. It's got a nice working design blade. I found that this knife is very handy in the woods, even though it's only cost me $27. It's got jimping on the back, which is decent. It doesn't cut into your skin, but it's pretty good when you consider that it's got these two protrusions on the handle here, which enable you to really grip the blade really tightly. The defensive application one, you can really hold on to this 3/8" blade really well. It's cool because it's shiny. It's when you drop this in the water, it's going to be easy to see. It's stainless steel blade. The blade is it says high carbon stainless, but I'm pretty sure it's a stainless steel blade. And here's the handle. The sheath. It's got a really cool belt loop. Oh, drop that. And this belt, you'll see that the belt loop is very secure, and the blade locks on really securely too, with 3 clicks. And there's no way this blade is going to pop out. It's in there very securely. And my next blade is my M1614 CRKT. I just call it Cricket. Tonto style blade. I've had this blade for about 9 years now, and it's really strong, and it's got a thick spine, thick body of the blade, which is really good for prying, although obviously folder is not a recommended tool for prying, but as far as folders go, this is pretty good for prying. If you look at the tip of the secondary tip of the Tonto, you'll notice it's rounded. I don't know if you can see that on this camera because it's not the best quality camera. So it's rounded into a more traditional type Tonto tip. And that's just because the blade is so old. It's lost the sharpness of that secondary tip. And I actually prefer that. I find that it's more advantageous for my needs. And this blade here has got aluminum handles. And it's relatively heavy for a fixed folder blade. It's actually as heavy as the Steel Pup Elite. But it's a folder. And it's got the auto lock system here, which enables you to lock the liner and prevents the liner from opening without you actually wanting it to. And I like this because even though it's not spring assist, it's got this choil or little protrusion here, which allows you to flip open the knife relatively quickly. And it's pretty solid as long as you put enough wrist action into it. And this knife is very sharp. I actually cut my finger with it trying to cut some rope, and you can see the scar. It's that hook-shaped dark line on my skin cut to the bone. Almost cut half of my finger off the upper portion. I took 9 stitches to seal that up. It was like cool. It just leaked blood everywhere, and since my knife was so sharp, there was no pain at first. It was just like, oh shoot, look how deep that is. So something to be said for a sharp blade. At least there's not as much pain involved when you accidentally cut yourself. Okay, and the next knife is the SOG Trident, which is a folder. It's got the little lock on there, which locks it closed, which I find always got in my way, so I super glued. I simply poured a gob of super glue into this little hole till it's sealed, and now it doesn't lock at all. It's got the spring assist technology, which enables it to come out really handy. I mean, if your hand is hurt, this is a really good knife to use because it's a lot easier to open. It's black handle with the tiger stripe design, with the blade is 3.75 inches, half serration, half knot. I don't know why, but I always get the serration. I guess because I find that it's more convenient for cutting cardboard or cutting rope, and it grips the tomato skin so that the remainder of the blade can slice a lot in more smoothly. Because if you have a straight blade, often tomato will resist that if it's a dull blade. And then it's got the blade. Instead of a lanyard, I have a little carabiner, a tiny carabiner on there, which makes it really handy for pulling from whether I'm wearing shorts or pants. Makes it easy to pull out. Okay, and the next one, did I discuss the Mini Hunter yet? I don't. Okay, no. This is the Mini Hunter by Cold Steel. It's cool because it's a cute little knife. It looks like the Recon Scout, like a baby brother of the Recon Scout, little baby brother. And this blade is 3 inches. And if I'm going to carry a small blade like a 3-inch, I want a fixed blade so that I can use it to make up for its lack of length. I can use this to pry. Often I find myself having to pry pieces of plywood apart in order to use for painting projects that I have. So it comes in use even on a daily basis when I'm out cruising around on my bike. And let's see, I think last but not least is the Recon Scout. And that's my heaviest blade. Weighs in at 15 ounces, 7.5 inch long with the 5/16 of an inch thick blade. It's 5/16 of an inch, or a 1/4 inch thick, which is good for cutting. Cut a lot of small saplings and whatnot to clear brush for projects out in the woods with this. It's already got some scratches on it, which, you know, is just a seasoning. It just shows seasoning, shall we say, of the blade. And this is the only blade where I carry a full lanyard, because if I'm going to be chopping with the blade this big, I want a lanyard so that I can secure my hand to the blade securely, so that if I chop too hard, the blade's not going to fly out of my hand. It's going to stay right there. It's not going to go anywhere. And all my blades are really sharp. I could shave arm hair with them or slice through paper. I don't want to make them sharp enough to shave my face, because I find that that's probably too sharp. The only one I like to keep really super sharp is this one, and also my 6-inch Cold Steel Tonto. This one has also never been sharpened. It's still got the factory sharpness, which is still, if you know anything about cold steel, it's a very sharp, factory sharpened is very sharp. I like this one a lot. I want to get the plastic sheath for it through the mail order somehow. And that's my knife collection here. The only ones I would carry on a daily basis might be maybe the Gerber, definitely the M16 CR, the Cricket CRKT, or the Mini Hunter. And this one I've been carrying a lot lately, because if I put it on, it's really light. I could put this on my pants. I can carry this on my shorts, and it doesn't pull my shorts down. And thank you for watching. Bye.